Hey everybody, it's Steve here. I hope you're doing awesome today. Hey, I want to walk you through the growth plan. This is the fastest way I have found to grow a contracting business to $1 million a month. Why $1 million a month? Because that's the place where it starts to feel like a real business. Like you're not building all the jobs, you're not running all the paperwork everywhere. You actually can really start to function as a business owner instead of just working it like a job every day. You can own a business, which hopefully is why you started a construction company to begin with. Not because you wanted to be out working in construction still, but because you wanted to actually grow a business and be able to sell it one day, retire, do the things that you wanted to do. That sounds like you're in the right spot. Now I'm going to tell you this is somebody that my personal teams sold hundreds of millions of dollars a year worth of projects. In fact, in some days we were selling over $1 million a day. Now, my teams did that for over a decade. I've sold over $2 billion worth of home improvement projects. That's not counting all my clients. My clients today are doing awesome things from all ends of the spectrum. I've worked in over 25 different states, 10 different product lines and trades. And again, I'm going to break it all down for you. What I'm going to show you today works regardless of what stage you're at. I do want to start off with walking you through how contracting businesses grow so you can help identify what stage you're stuck in. Then I'm going to show you how we help our contractors get into scale and exit stage and the systems that we put in place to get them there. You can obviously work with us to help you do that. I'll put some info down below for you if you'd like to see what that looks like. Or, of course, the info is free. Take it, apply it, put it into practice for you, grow your business. That's the whole goal here today. So let me walk you through exactly how contracting businesses grow and scale. So if we were to think about a contracting business as like this pyramid, you have to have the base one done, then you go to the next level, and then the next level, and the next level, and ultimately you get to the top of the pyramid. And there's certain milestones that just, for one reason or another, we have to get through along the way. The first one is doing less than $1 million a year. Then we go $1 to $3 million a year, 3 to 12, and then we go 12 to 30, and then over 30. If you think about a business that's doing less than $1 million a year, this is really chaos. And that's about 85 grand a month to do $1 million bucks. Less than that, it's really just you. Like you're figuring out what jobs to do. Quoting is totally random. What you sell, how you sell it, like it's all individually priced. There are no systems that exist. It is just chaos that exists. And it's probably just you out there doing the work as a sole proprietor. And if that's your goal, awesome. You can keep doing that. But it will be chaos forever. The things that you're dealing with will just be chaotic for you. Now, I would see this every time I'd go in and we'd start a new product line, new market, a brand new basically business from scratch. My goal, number one, was to get to 85 grand a month or beyond as fast as I possibly could, so I could just work through the reps of figuring out the systems that need to be put in place. The next one was getting stable. This is where we're doing $1 to $3 million a year, and we've got like a better idea of what needs to happen. So I know who my customers are, I know what I need to charge, I've got my contracts figured out, I've got fulfillment kind of starting to get figured out. I'm just getting some stability in the business. And it's a great place to be, but you're not making a ton of money. $1 to $3 million bucks a year for a lot of businesses sounds amazing. For contracting businesses, it's not that much. You're probably making enough to like pay yourself a good living wage. You're probably, you can have like buy a house money, but you're still working super, super hard. Like these are the people that are working nonstop. I'm working 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week. I'm just grinding away. It's because you're selling a lot of projects, but you don't have enough money to actually be able to build a real business yet. So we want to get you out of 1 to 3 million as fast as we can. 3 to 12 million bucks is where it starts to feel like success. Like now we've got an office manager, we got a superintendent, we've got maybe a sales person coming in, sales manager. Like we're really starting to feel like a real business here, and it's starting to feel like success. Our owner can start to take vacations, start to take their foot off, the day-to-day work all the time, and the business doesn't fall apart. It's a wonderful place to be. And if you notice, that's getting you to $1 million bucks a month. 12 million bucks is really a great place to be. You've got a successful business at that point. You've got staff to help where you need it, and you can still be a part of the business as much as you want to. 12 to 30 million is about scaling. How do we take all those things that we learned stabilizing the business and finding success and actually start to scale them and grow them? You can do really amazing things here. This is where you start to be able to add $15 million a year in revenue, or $10 million, or whatever the number is that's right for you. Making those jumps at scale becomes much, much easier because we established all these foundation things that existed over here. Think about it like you're trying to lose weight, and when you're first starting out, maybe you don't know what you're doing, but you buy a scale, you get a diet, you get a plan, all of a sudden losing weight becomes easier. And those practices that you learn down here at the low levels ultimately compound and help you up here. Same thing happens in scale. We start to grow companies really, really fast at that stage. Again, as fast as our owners want to and as fast as the market will allow us. Beyond 30 million, life is great. You've probably got all the money that you want to take whatever vacations you want, buy whatever cars you want, and really do some cool stuff. And now the question shifts to, what do you want to do? Do you want to stay with the business and just kind of have it be a cash cow for you, and you can work, you can not work, you can be involved, not involved? Do you want to be like a board member? Do you want to hire a CEO or a president to come in that runs the day-to-day of things? Do you want to sell the company? What are the things that you want to do at this stage? They become really, really fun at exit and legacy. Now, I have clients in the whole gamut, all the way from doing less than $1 million a year that are trying to get out of that slump, to companies that are doing multiple hundreds of millions of dollars a year that are trying to figure out what succession planning looks like. You deal with different problems all along the way. One thing I know for sure, and I can guarantee you because I see it happen time and time and time again all over the place, and again, it doesn't matter the trade, you will not get out of this bucket. You will not find success in your business unless our owner is in control of the business itself. What do I mean by that? Well, when you're brand new, you start off, again, you're just dealing with chaos all the time. You're bidding all these individual systems and these individual projects. You start to get some stability, but hiring people and building out operations and support and teams of people so you don't have to be the only person doing it is a skill that you have to learn. And a lot of people don't have that skill intuitively. They've never worked at a company that had great systems in place, and therefore they don't know how to build great systems themselves. And so if you are not in control of your business to where you have clear direction, clear vision, clear goals, clear KPIs, clear things that need to happen, and standard operating procedures, you will be running around nonstop, putting out fires. You'll go 2 steps forward, you'll hire somebody, they won't work out, you'll go back, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. You'll be stuck in that cycle forever. And it's actually why I started this company, was because I saw so many contractors, like the really great tradespeople, were stuck in this stability, growth mode. They couldn't figure out how to grow. They couldn't figure out how to get the company big. They couldn't figure out how to do things. You start cracking the hood, and it was like, oh my gosh, the reason we can't do this is because our owner is in control. Some really common areas I see this are companies that hire marketing agencies that don't understand how marketing is supposed to work. You don't need to be creating the ads and cutting the ads, managing the spend and doing all that stuff, but you need to have enough knowledge of how marketing works to where you can manage your marketing company effectively. Or they don't know how sales works and what are acceptable KPIs for sales. And so when they hire a sales manager in, and that sales manager doesn't also know what's good, they don't know what's good, and the company just sits. It sits in this stagnant world forever. And we want to help you get out of that. So you can actually have a company that you own, and again, you can take vacations. You're not running it all the time. We want to get you in control. So when I talk about owners being in control of their business, it doesn't mean that you're working in the business all the time. It means you understand your business well enough to make good decisions about who's doing a good job. You understand what good looks like. You understand what is acceptable, what's not acceptable. You know that your sales team's not ripping you off. You know that you've got clear direction, clear vision, clear goals, all those things. And magically, once we get those in place, we start to scale. We start to grow. We start to stabilize. You go back to coaching your kids' soccer game. You can start taking vacations again. You can start doing all those things because we actually have our owner in control of the business. They don't need to be working in it all the time. They need to be in control and understand what's happening. So that's our goals. We want to get you in control of your business. We do this all the time with vice presidents or directors that are running new departments, or they're running new states or new cities or new projects. And it's like, how do we get them in control as fast as we can? Putting, again, some very simple systems in place. I'm going to walk you through exactly how the growth plan works. What are the big things that we're trying to do? What are the tools that we use to do it? So you can try and fix that out yourself. But that's the goal. We want to get you in control and show you exactly how to do that. Let me show you how that works within the growth plan. So if we know that the pathway to success requires that we have an owner that's in control, it's the one thing that we want to solve for and get out of the way. And honestly, it's the hardest part for most contractors, is understanding their business well enough to where they can get out of the way and just focus their efforts on supporting departments as opposed to doing all the work themselves. And it's the North Star of what we have in the growth plan. We want to help you get in control of your business. And if you want to have a successful business, this is the thing that you need to focus on and the thing you need to tackle. We want to do that so we have clarity. Like, what are the problems that we should be focused on? What is the goal for this company? How do we have confidence in a plan to fix and solve those problems that we're running into? Then how do we have consistency so that we know we can make an investment in something, we can put time and energy into it, and it's actually going to pay off down the road. We're not guessing all the time on what should be happening. Those are the three things that we're looking for when we put our owner in control. Now, how we know an owner is not in control is they suffer from a couple of symptoms, let's call it. Number one is when there's chaos and confusion in the business. When nobody knows what the goal is, there's confusion over how it gets done, there's no real clear vision for the company. Great sign that we have chaos and confusion. We are flying blind. We don't have access to data. We don't have basic numbers at our fingertips that we can make good decisions with. We're flying blind. And inconsistent execution. This happens all the time because it was one of the things that we had sitting with us in our chaos stage. When we were in chaos, we just had to figure everything out. And then we started getting some stability, and quite honestly, there just could be still a lot of inconsistency in there because we weren't doing enough volume to have to force consistency. Now that we're looking to get bigger, we need consistency. So chaos and confusion, if we're trying to avoid that, then we need clarity and direction. If we're trying to avoid flying blind, we need visibility into basic and core data. This is not about building a 900-page document that highlights every data point in your company. That will come with time. Just for now, it's just about getting some core data pieces in place. It's not about having a bunch of things in there that we don't need. If we're trying to avoid inconsistent execution, then we have to have consistent systems. And so let me walk you through how you solve for each one of these and what we do with our clients. So the first thing we want you to do is put together a business roadmap. And this gives clarity and direction to all departments. It makes everybody understand what the goal is for the company. How do all the puzzle pieces and departments and roles fit into that? And really, where are we going? What is the plan here? A business roadmap solves all of that. We also have to create an org chart, not only for today, but in the future. Where are the people that we have? Where are the people we don't have? And where ultimately do they need to fit in? And who is going to be responsible for them? A simple org chart put together can give you a lot of clarity into where your hiring needs need to be and who's handling what. I can't tell you how often I'll ask a question like, who runs sales? And people will say, well, I kind of do, and he kind of does. Well, that means nobody runs sales. We have to get organized and structured with how we do things. And that's all so that we can have expectations and responsibilities that are defined for everybody. Your sales manager should understand the responsibilities that they are responsible for and the expectations they have in that role. Same with your operations people, same with your construction manager, same with your foreman, same with your accounts payable, your HR, all these different departments. Even if they don't exist for you today, they will at some point. And we need to help define expectations and responsibilities for those people. We need to understand who they report to and what roles exist and don't exist, and when we will need them based on our business roadmap. You put all those things together, and now you have a vision for what you want to do. You have ideas of who is going to do them, even if they don't work for your company today, and what are the things that they're responsible for and the expectations that they have so that we can actually do the things that we want to do. All those put together gives you clarity and direction, and there's a whole set of tools that exist beyond that for our clients that we help open up that make it very easy for them to go through and fill these things out. Now, visibility into core data, one of the things that we love to do, and I'd recommend you guys do this, set up a weekly scoreboard or scorecard with your teams. And this is where they literally fill out core pieces of data and turn it into you. And you do that every single week. It helps you get your eyes on what is happening in the departments so that you can make snapshot decisions on what needs to happen, where your focus is needed, what's doing well, what's not doing well. And it helps tremendously give you just visibility at a high level without you having to go into the weeds on what's happening. Building a pipeline dashboard. What opportunities do we have? When are sales coming in? What are they worth? What do we think our close rate's going to be? What expectations do I have for next month or next quarter? All of those things can be solved through good sales management. In fact, I remember one month, I think my sales goal was like 25 million, and I was within 20,000 of that on my projections because I had a real clear eye on what my pipeline looked like and what my data was like. And that wasn't a fluke. Over time, I got incredibly good at managing pipeline, understanding data, and I could forecast exactly where we were going to be next month based on sales this month and how things were going because we had really good analytics. Those same systems apply here. When you have that kind of analytics in place, you can imagine the confidence and the clarity and the consistency you start getting because you understand your data to that level. Next, we have installing a weekly meeting cadence. One of the things that's very common in contractors that are trying to get into the success stage and get through it is they don't have consistency in how they handle data, meetings, organizing themselves, and it's very fractured. So, for example, you could have two owners and you guys meet here and there as people are available, or you meet over email or late at night, and it just kind of wanders into this conversation about whatever it needs to wander into. By giving some structure to those meetings, giving you frameworks, and having it be a structured, organized meeting, you're not focused on what am I going to talk about this week. You're focused on what are the changes that are happening and the things we need to get forward and looking into. It's a very tactical style of meeting. We help walk you through exactly how to do that. Good systems that are consistent have checks and balances. We're not trying to micromanage our team. And this is one of the things a lot of contractors screw up, which turns into this revolving door of trying to recruit people. Great people don't want to be micromanaged, but it doesn't mean that we don't manage them at all. We need some checks and balances in the system that allow us to see if somebody's doing good, on point, off point, working as expected or not, without micromanaging them. And again, checks and balances are a great thing to have in your consistent systems. Building a standard operating procedure library. What is supposed to happen? What is expected and documented out? Are there the checklists that exist to say, here's how we close out a job, here's how we fund a job, here's how we close a job one, here's how we submit a packet? Those standard operating procedures allow people to come into your business and be successful without having to have been around it for 20 years. You need to get those things into your business. And then finally, documenting core processes. So think about your standard operating procedures as the checklist of the individual task, but what does the entire process look like as a whole? So I can look at it as a new person coming to your company and say, oh, okay, I get it. So I sell a job, I market closed one, then it goes to operations where they do a review, then it has a site audit, then it has budgeting, then it has design. All these different things scripted out. That will also help you design where you need to put those systems in place. Where are the holes that exist that we have to fulfill today? You put all those things together, and that's ultimately how you get to that next stage, which is understanding that we can have people come in, they can be successful, we can scale the business past that, we have an operating system that works, we have basically the ability to recruit and hire at will, and know that we have a system that people can plug into. Now, one of the things I hear all the time is owners that say, I can't find good people. And here's the reality. Really great people don't want to work for disasters of companies. Think about all the things that you see here on the screen. If I was a top salesperson or a top manager or top operations coming into your company, and you told me that there was chaos and confusion everywhere, everybody was flying blind, everybody does what they want to do, it's hyper inconsistent, the chances of me wanting to work for your company are fairly low. You're not going to hire a lot of A players with that kind of value prop. It almost doesn't matter what you pay them. As on the flip side, if you said, hey, I want you to come into my company, let me tell you what we got going on. Here's our goal for this year. Here's who does what. Here's the expectations of the job. Here's how we do things. We have a weekly meeting that we set up and we walk through and hold people accountable, and we're going to make sure that you're successful. And then you have other departments that are here helping support you along the way. So it's actually really hard to do a bad job with us because we have so many systems in place that help you do a good job. As a salesperson, I'd love that. I'd be like, oh, that sounds amazing. Like, you sound exactly like the kind of company I'd come into, because I know I can be successful with you. The goal that you're talking about feels real. It feels like something that we can actually do, not something we just made up. And all of a sudden, you're going to start hiring more A players because you actually have a system in place. So work on those things. If it feels like you, if you're watching this, and you're thinking, gosh, I've got a handful of these done, but I don't have other ones done. The way we do it with our clients is we just have them go through. We have them mark. These ones are green. I feel great. These ones are yellow. They're like, okay. These ones are red. I'm doing terribly at it. And then we help give you the tools to solve those problems. If you'd like to see what it looks like to work with us, I'll put a link down below. If not, just start building it. Get working on building these things out. You can absolutely do it. Like I said, I had to do it over the last decade of putting those things in place. And when you start having those systems in place, it will change your business 100%. All right, with that said, like I said, if you want to check out what it looks like to work with us, check out the info down below. And until next time, appreciate y'all. Thanks, everybody.